Ladies and gentlemen, once again, welcome again to this space that we are actually introducing for the first time, and this is Jesse Podsession. Actually, it's an amazing session that we are going to have today, just to interact with you and also just to share some little bit about myself. And also, you can see from the screen, it's about let's tell our stories. So here, we're just about to learn, and then we're going to bring people to inspire people, other people, and also once you get inspired, you take an action to improve yourself. I'll be having a lot of information that I have lined up for you, but for today, I just want to bring to you for the first time Jesse Podsession. And the story that will be coming in this session is all about our stories. And our stories can only be told by ourselves. Nobody gonna tell about our stories. So our stories, we are the ones to tell them. And I'll be having a couple of friends that will be coming in this session that will share with you and share with us a lot of information that will be of benefit to us. People that have gone through different various stages in life that will be inspiring us in the near future. But just for today, it's just an introduction part of it. And today, I'm going to talk about myself. And my story is it's a bit long and a bit complicated, but I thank God for where I am right now. And right now, as we speak, I can count some blessings. Yeah, I count my blessings each day, and I'm very healthy. I bless the Lord for that, and I'm very grateful to be here. So, who is Jesse, and why Jesse Podsession? Has been a very long time that I wanted to create a space whereby I can tell other people's story, I can share my stories, and I started this thing back in Kenya. By the way, I come from Kenya. There is 254, and Kenya is this country that is in the eastern part of Africa, neighboring Tanzania and Uganda, and on the north side we have Ethiopia. Yeah, so Kenya is there in Eastern Africa. So I was born 27 years ago, and all along I wanted to inspire people. I've been in various occasions where I mentored a lot of people in different forums in the field of IT and tech, because I'm a tech person, and we're going to talk about that later in a different session. I'll be bringing someone who will talk about tech. There's so many people who've been asking me about this tech field, and apart from I'm in this field, I would love another person to share a story, to share his story and the journey of how he decided to venture in this tech field. So that's a story for another day. But for today, so Jesse was born 27 years ago in this country called Kenya, at a place called Laikipia County. And I grew in the country up to the age of 27, actually. And then I moved from the country to come and further my studies here in the US. So currently I'm in the state of Michigan, the city of Allendale. That's where I am currently recording this session. And all along I've wanted to start something that I can inspire people. I can tell other people's story. I can educate people from other people's experiences. And back in 2018, I started a YouTube channel. It's called MC Jesse the Poet. And in this channel, I used to share my stories through poetry, because I'm a poet. And I traversed through the country doing some corporate stories through poetry. And I came to interact with a lot of people. Then from there, I decided to do YouTube interviews whereby I could focus on people who are doing great in the society, especially the young people, the youth, because the youth really has a lot of potential, and if this potential is not tapped in well, then most of them end up losing their way. So I started interviewing people in different parts of the country, and if you can check on my YouTube channel, you see the interviews I did on young people doing farming, a lot of farming, because farming is an industry that a lot of young people has just neglected, but has a lot of money and has a lot of opportunities. So Through that series of interviews, I came to realize that there's a lot of people's stories that needs to be told. And now then, after moving to the US, people still keep on asking me, how is life in the US? How do are there other Africans in the US? How is life compared to life in the US compared to the US? So those are kind of the stories that I would love other people who have been here in the US to share, maybe in other different sessions. So for today, I am saying it's like it's a dream come true, because now we are launching this Podsession for the first time. And then, having moved from Kenya to the US after I did my undergraduate back in the country, I really wanted to further my studies in the field of technology, science, and that's how I came to the US. But most of my followers on social media have been asking me, tell us, how did you get a scholarship to come and study in the US? And it is not easy, especially when you come from this part of Africa and then you're coming this side of the country, that is the United States of America. It's a very huge journey that you need someone to walk you through step by step. So currently here in the US, I'm a graduate student taking data science, and data science, in a layman's understanding, for those who maybe would want to know what is data science, is just data and science. Long ago, we didn't have this field called data science. All that we had is the field of computer science, whereby people try to come up with the techniques, come up with modules, and then these modules help to make things easier through a computer program that is written by someone. So as we evolve, and as the world keep on evolving, a lot of information is being produced on a daily basis. And then scientists sat down and decided, how can we be able to integrate this all information and try to come up with solutions, that these solutions, once we solve them, and they can help us to predict how things will be maybe in the future, or can be able to run the affairs of the world. And that's how data science came into place. So it's a very huge space and has a lot of concentration that if you would like to venture in, for example, if you want to do something to do about big data, how do you mine this big data? Because millions of companies are processing information daily. That's very huge information. That's what we're calling big data. If you want to concentrate on machine learning, that's another field. Artificial intelligence, neural networks. And I believe I might be very good in saying this, but I believe someone else can share this information to you. And I believe I'll be able to bring, maybe in the next session, someone who is able to maybe deconstruct, or maybe able to break down this field of science. Let's call it general science, because there's so many fields in science. So that's what I'm doing as a graduate student here. And this is actually, this is my first semester in the US. I relocated in August 28th. That's when I landed I entered the US borders, and then I've been here for the last 4 months. So I'm still learning the way, and there's so many things, different things that are being done here, apart from how we do them back in the country. And there's so huge difference. And I believe that once I bring other visitors, other guests who will be coming to this session, they'll be able to share more about this. Another thing that, a very common question that I've been asked by so many people, how did you get the scholarship to come to the US? Where to start to? I believe this session will be very long if I start explaining bit by bit. This question I've been getting it day in, day out on my social media platforms. How did you relocate to the US? And as I had said, that it's a very long story. If I start saying it in this session, then it's going to take a lot of time. But this lady, she graduated from her master's in Arkansas. She stays in Arkansas City. She's called Shali. So Shali kept on telling me, do you have a dream of coming to the US? Do you have a vision? Like, do you want to come and study in the US? She used to share a lot of many good things about the US. Then at first, I didn't give it a shot because I was just reluctant. But because it's someone I knew, she kept on pushing me to the end and 10. And she told me that this one guy who is on Facebook, you go and research about him. And he's helping many students to come to the US. And this guy is called Bob Mwiti. And he told me this guy seems to be like a genuine guy. So go research about him. If you find that what he's saying is correct and is right, then you can give it a shot. Then after 3 months, from the time she told me that, then I decided to take action. And I came to the US through Bob Mwiti in a program, that the Kenya Airlift program. So I believe that Bob will be able to give you a lot of information, more than I can do, but with other Kenyans that I've met here who came before us, and I will be bringing them in this session. They'll be able to share their experiences. And I think you should give a shot. If you have a vision, if you have a goal to come to the US, you should just try, talk to Bob. See what he's posting on his social media platforms. And if you get convinced, it's upon you to take action. And that's what. Because he has this slogan that says, it's passion that led us here. So it depends with if you want to come, but that's the route that we use to come here. So I will leave his link, the YouTube link on the description below, and then you can follow him later. And that being said, I hope you guys that you're very ready to get more exciting stories about here in the US and some of the differences and some of the culture shocks that we have experienced here. And I can't wait to bring this amazing guy who came here before me and will be telling us more about tech. That is this field we are calling science and technology. He'll be sharing more about that. And so guys, I'm so much excited to have you. Remember to keep tuned and welcome to Jesse Podsession, where we learn, we inspire, and improve. Thank you guys for having me in this short session. I hope that we'll see you next time. Till we see you in the next session. Goodbye.